Hi, this is Donnie bringing our weekly Bible reading devotional as we continue to read the New Testament together this year through Discipleship Journal's 5 by 5 by 5 Bible reading plan. And starting into the book of Acts this week, and I'm really excited about reading Acts together. Every time I read it, I just love getting drawn into the story that unfolds. Luke tells us in the very opening verse of the book of Acts what he's doing, what's happening, what we're about to see when he says, in the first book, O Theophilus, is talking about the Gospel of Luke, I have dealt with all that Jesus began to do and teach. And so Luke is implying here that what Jesus began to do and teach, what we see in the Gospels, well, now in the book of Acts, we see him continuing to do and to teach. And he does that through the church, through his followers. It reminds me of an interview I saw recently with the actress who played Queen Elizabeth in a recent movie on Queen Elizabeth. The actress talked about how to get ready for her role, she studied Queen Elizabeth. She studied video footage and interviews and things because she wanted to know the personality of Queen Elizabeth. She wanted to get her facial expressions down so that she could represent her well. And I think that's what happens in the lives of these early Christians is the Holy Spirit comes upon them and produces the life of Jesus in them. Luke tells us in verse 8 of chapter 1 that when the Holy Spirit comes upon us, he will empower us to be witnesses. And that's what they're doing. They're witnessing to the life of Jesus in them, his personality, his characteristics. It's like Ben Myers says it in the book, The Apostles' Creed, that I've been reading. I really like this quote. He says, Jesus was not the author of ideas, but of a way of life. What he handed on to his followers was simply life. He showed them his own unique way of being alive, his way of living, loving, feasting, forgiving, teaching, and dying. And he invited them to live the same way. That's what Jesus continues to do through these early Christians, what we see unfolding in Acts, and it turns the world upside down as his life gets manifested through them. And it's what we as followers of Jesus in 21st century America, we get to be a part of what Jesus is continuing to do and teach as his life through the Holy Spirit in us gets manifested in our day-to-day circumstances. So the book of Acts, I hope, inspires you this week, excites you to see the life of Jesus on display and to open your life up to the Holy Spirit producing and acting Jesus' life in you. I'll look forward to talking to you more about Acts next week.